Hi guys, how you doing today? I hope you're doing well whatever you're watching this week's episode of the Car Weekly Roundup. Now, today is 27th June, 3 days to the close of the financial year. You better have filed your taxes. You should, otherwise you'll get penalized. Now, in history, June 20th, someone called Barney Oldfield broke the record of 96 kilometers per hour. He was driving Henry Ford's legendary 999 race car. It was a monster at that time, 19 liter, 4-cylinder vehicle that was giving 80 horsepower. 80 horsepower right now is almost a tukutuku. Yeah, we do 120 horsepower. Yeah, we do 120 horsepower and we are good. But we are not allowed to do 90 kilometers per hour on the bypass. But most of you guys do it. Now, June 26, 1906, the first Grand Prix happened. Yes. Now, the Grand Prix happened in France at a place called Le Mans. Yeah. It was a closure of public roads about 103 kilometers. It's like how they closed from Bombo Road, Bave Wise, and everybody got a paka Mukono, Nove Mukono, Nebagari Kubedara Paka Ngakaraji. So they closed 103 kilometers of road, and people were driving around, and a person called Ferrin, Shish. Yeah, he won the event driving a car that gave him 90 horsepower. It was a Renault. And at that time, it was something that was really fast. Welcome to the Weekly Roundup. On Gara Road, there is a guy that was driving a fielder on 21st. He was drunk and he overturned the vehicle. And you know, when a car overturns in a place as busy as Gaba Road, people come around. Now, that should not be making news, but it will make news because people are going to misinterpret this accident as a result of raising a car. We only raise a few millimeters. So raising a car normally doesn't cause accidents. What causes accidents like that where the car overturns is sudden stopping. If you overspeed and continue overspeeding, there will be no problem. The problem comes when you try to stop. All these guys that get unalived on the express, they stop suddenly. Stopping suddenly or trying to stop suddenly is a thing that kills you during an accident, which is why it is recommended that you do the speed limit. I recommend you drive safely because when you're doing 30 kilometers per hour, even when you stop suddenly, no danger. But when you stop suddenly at 100 kilometers per hour, stop suddenly, people are going to hit you from behind, you're going to hit stuff from in front, and then if you don't hit, if you're like, you lack better judgment like a drunk guy in Gaba, then you're obviously going to overturn the car, and that's very dangerous. It's criminal, but also you lose your car and your esteem, and you get trauma that will last for a very long time. For the love of cars. In Kampala, people are doing helipads. You guys know helipads? Do you know a helipad? You don't know. A helipad is a round thing that they put at the top of a building for helicopters to cut. But the way they described it is like you don't know. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, Kampala property developers now, Kingdom Kampala Phase 2 is going to have a helipad. Chirudu has a helipad. I don't know why. Because high profile people don't go there. It's the poor people that go there. The poor people can't afford helicopters. But Chirudu has a helipad. And the helipad is a facility that allows helicopters to stop on the building. And of course, it will not be for poor people, for the average Ugandan, it will be for the rich people. Now, the rich people normally don't get to the level where they need to use a helicopter. Even if they did, where will the helicopter pick you up at Kampala Road? Okay? The helicopter picks you up from where? And even if a helicopter picked you up from, let's say, Mbarara, it brings you to Chirudu Hospital, you probably die on your way down. So let's just fix the healthcare system. Let's fix the roads. Let's just fix things like that. The helipads are not going to help us. And then there's a property company called Twed Property Development. The guy that is chief development there is called Ian Twebaze. He said that it's going to enhance mobility and for high level business travelers, diplomats, and institutional clients, while positioning Kampala as a competitive regional business destination. He added that the development is expected to create jobs in hospitality, retail, security, maintenance, and facility management once operational. Meanwhile, Balewa Kingdom Kampala Boba Demokora Phase 2, and you know, Kingdom Kampala phase 1 already looks nice, yeah. So I'm thinking the phase 2 that's going to have a helipad will have a lot of tech and stuff like that. But about how many helicopters do we have in Uganda? You might have to borrow the presidential jet or the presidential helicopter. But even the president doesn't have a helicopter. He borrows the one from UPDF. He has a jet. But even his jet sometimes doesn't work. He uses Uganda Airlines. He owns nothing but controls everything. That is power. But anyway, helipads are coming alive. I think some of you guys that have not yet constructed houses, you should put helipads. Yeah. They should just fix the jam. In Nairobi, in Kenya, there is a company, a SACCO. You know Nairobi, when the taxis are operated by SACCOs. So there is a SACCO called Nico Movers, and it was... So I want to say the transport corporation, the transport controller in the country suspended their license because there was a student that died, yeah? On June 9th, it was the death of someone called Eugene Mukutu, who was a student at the Kenya Medical Training College. Now, he died as a result of the recklessness or the bad condition of one of their vehicles. And what the National Transport and Safety Authority did, it revoked the they call it PSV, Public Service Vehicle Licenses. Now, there is a tribunal they went to, and it gave them temporary relief. Now you can work, but as you work, all the complaints that were done before they suspended your license, work on them. It's like how we had the bus here. There was a bus company, Link. So Link was suspended until they fixed everything. They took their buses for inspection and everything worked out. And then in the world, by 2030, BYD wants to exceed Toyota as number 1 car seller. You see, BYD in 2025 sold about 4.1 million vehicles. However, they want to exceed Toyota, which sold 11 million vehicles. Beat that. 11 million. So some people keep saying Toyota Teina worldwide. Of course, now, the thing that makes Toyota number 1 is because they have manufacturing hubs all over the world. They have in South Africa. I think in Kenya they're going to start doing it. They have in Australia. They have in America. They have in Japan. They have in UAE. They have manufacturing plants almost everywhere. So it's very hard for you to beat them. But BYD, which is considerably a new company, selling 4.1 million vehicles, that's something that is big. It's big. So anyway, they want by 2030. I know it's impossible. It is impossible. But even if they don't beat Toyota, they will beat these others, and probably that will make them number 2. And it's because these guys are very innovative. I mean, they made a vehicle that doesn't need a jack stand. If your tire sits down, you just press a button and the tire comes up, and then you change it and then it goes down. Actually, you don't even have to change the tire. You can just lift that tire, drive on 3 tires and go where you're going. So anyway, BYD is innovative. They make batteries, they make hybrid vehicles, and no one does it better than them currently. So Toyota might just have to go and buy BYD if the Chinese cannot allow the Japanese to buy them. But if that happens, but director of Toyota negotiating, I can go and help them negotiate. In Lancashire, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. People like Seth Kagawa can help me. In Lancashire, there is a man that was almost scammed of £1,300. How did it? You guys that keep scanning QR codes. So this guy went parked. He wanted to pay for parking, and the machine was out of parking tickets. So, but he saw a QR code nearby there, so he paid using an app. The way we pay for parking at Forest Mall and those other places, you scan the QR code, they give you a link, you click the link, you pay. So this guy did the same, and later on there were withdrawals that were being initiated on his account, and his bank called him. Why are you the one withdrawing this money? He said, I'm not the one. They said, you need to be very careful. Someone is actually trying to withdraw your money. They're trying to buy stuff using your bank details, and that's how he survived. And then of course the company there, the parking company, is saying we don't use QR codes. If you find a QR code anywhere, that's not us. I'm worried. But the good thing is that for us, QR code igwaji jam machine wali. So for the guys that are used to trying to make life easy for yourself, stop scanning QR codes. From dusty roads to dreams of patrol. Now in England, Taxon, there is a lady that drove at approximately 209 kilometers per hour. Now, she did not do this outside the law. She's a 98-year-old car enthusiast, and she has loved cars. And right now, she doesn't even have a home. She lives in these care homes where they take old people and they live. So she went on a ride around the Thruxton race circuit in England, yeah. And she's called Patricia Elliott. She was driving in an Aston Martin. Aston Martin is a British vehicle, yeah. And she described the high-speed lap as a memory she would never forget. Yeah, family members and friends were there to see her do that. So she said that she recalls receiving a car from her father, which was called the Hornet sports car for her 21st birthday. And she was driving, of course, 98-year-old people. We have no proof. We know that their brains are not working properly, but we have no proof. So that's what happened. And then in Florida, there's a police chief that was fired in Titusville. Why was he fired? He overturned a police vehicle. They were collecting evidence against him. The moment he overturned the vehicle, they just took, as he was in the hospital, they said, you know what, go. Your deputy is now in charge. And that brings the question of, does Uganda ever fire anyone? They will probably fire you for doing the right thing. I don't see anyone that has ever done the wrong thing being fired. I don't think Uganda ever fires anyone. They just transfer you. Actually, they can transfer you. They take you somewhere else in a bigger position. From dusty roads to dreams of patrol. So anyway, and then there are 3 people in Alberta, Canada, around Calgary, that were charged $10 million Canadian dollars, because they put on fire the dealership and burnt 25 luxury and executive vehicles. Now it's like how someone just goes and burns. They don't say the names in the news, but they say they went and charged them, and they say they should pay $10 million. Just arrest them. Where are they going to get $10 million? And normally people that have a lot of money don't burn things like that. It's the poor people. It's the poor people that have those kinds of hearts. Guys, when you buy an old car, you have bought an old car, it's important that you understand it. You need to understand that an old car comes with money to replace old parts. Costs to replace old parts. You see, the reason why I do an inspection report every now and then when I inspect cars for people is to point out the things they need to work on. Sometimes you replace, sometimes you repair. It's important when you buy an old car, replace the parts that need replacement, repair the parts that need repairing. Otherwise, anything that you don't repair now will cost you a lot tomorrow. And the tip of the week, you need to remember that not everyone in your neighborhood putting on an overall is a mechanic. He might actually be putting on an overall. He might be putting on an overall. He just picked it. He might be putting on an overall. He's a madman. So don't be stopping everyone on the road calling them a mechanic. They will spoil your car. And I've seen this. So keep a mechanic's number or 2 mechanics number, real mechanics in your neighborhood, so that you never have to stop a madman thinking they're a mechanic. Well, thank you very much for being part of this week's episode of the Car Weekly Roundup. Don't forget, I do pre-purchase inspection. In case you're looking to buy a car, I am your man. I come with a mechanic, and together we make sure that you buy the right car for your budget. Yes, I charge a small fee, 450,000 shillings only. And that covers a full day of inspection in the Kampala CBD. I also sell car tracking devices, 350,000, 450,000 shillings, and car alarms. A car alarm will cost you 210,000 shillings if you buy it together with the tracker, 250,000 shillings if you buy it alone. All the monies include installation. I wish you a very lovely weekend. For the love of